So, I'm Pamela Raquel. Believe it or not, 99% of men often miss these subtle but significant clues that women drop in conversation. Today, we will change that. Let's delve deeper into these nuanced cues and signals that women use that often go unnoticed in their everyday lives. So by the end of this video, you'll be among the 1% who can pick up on these innuendos, giving you a unique insight into what she's really trying to say. Let's go. Purposeful misinterpretation. Deliberately twisting your words to give them a loving connotation is a flirting tactic. By doing this, she is not only bringing a loving tone to the conversation, but also testing your reaction to these changes. For example, you might say something innocent, and it turns into an innuendo. This playful manipulation of words can create fun and lovingly charged dialogue, but it requires a certain level of attention and insight to catch and understand these moments, which is why they often go unnoticed. Direct questions about your preferences. When a woman asks you directly about your preferences in a partner, especially focusing on physical or core aspects, it can be a clear indicator of her interest in you. These questions may include asking about what you find attractive in someone, your favorite physical features, or what you like in a romantic relationship. While these questions may seem straightforward, they are often loaded with subtext, suggesting your interest in knowing whether she fits your preferences. However, men can interpret these questions as simple casual talk, often ignoring the hint of romantic connotations. Playful challenges. Statements that present a challenge can often be a playful way for women to engage in flirty conversations. When she says something like, "I bet you can't guess the color of my underwear," or "I dare you to make me blush," these aren't just playful teases, but often disguised invitations for more flirtatious or loving dialogue. Men may misinterpret these statements as simple or competitive talk, leaving out the romantic subtext. Suggestive topics. A woman may intentionally steer a conversation toward more romantic topics or to gauge your response and comfort in discussing these issues. This may include talking about past relationships, asking your opinion on issues, or discussing more intimate aspects of dating. These conversations may be full of innuendo about your own desires or interests, but they are often subtle and can be missed if you aren't paying close attention. What-if scenarios. Using what-if scenarios is a clever way for women to talk about their preferences or fantasies without being too direct. She might ask, for example, "What would you do if we were the only two people on Earth?" Or "What would your ideal romantic getaway look like?" These questions allow her to explore ideas or romance with you indirectly, offering insights into her mind while keeping the conversation light and hypothetical. Many men may not realize that her involvement in these topics is a sign of interest and a hint of her fantasies or desires. Recurring themes. Women can drop subtle hints about their love interest by repeatedly bringing up romantic or specific topics. For example, she may repeatedly mention how much she likes a certain romantic movie or continue discussing topics related to physical intimacy. These recurring themes are not random. They are intentional and meant to open a dialogue about love or gauge your interests and reactions. However, many men may miss these cues because they may not notice the pattern or understand the intention behind these recurring topics. Innuendos and compliments. The way a woman compliments you can contain hints. If she frequently comments on your physical strength, saying things like, "Wow, you must be strong enough to sweep a woman off her feet," or makes remarks about how you handle things in a suggestive way, these compliments could have deeper implications. Often, these statements are ignored by men as simple flattery, missing the flirting intention behind them. Interest in your relationship history. When a woman shows great interest in your past relationships or experiences, it may be more than just casual curiosity. By delving into your romantic past, she may be trying to understand your preferences and experiences as a way to open up a more intimate conversation. This interest can often be a prelude to discussing more personal topics, but men don't always realize this underlying motivation. References to physical touch. References to physical touch in conversation can be a significant indicator of romantic interest. If she casually mentions liking certain types of touch, like a back rub, or how she loves the feel of certain textures on her skin, these comments can be loaded with implications. However, These cues can go unnoticed as men may interpret them as general preferences or casual observations rather than intentional innuendo. Allusions to fantasies. A woman may drop hints about her interests by alluding to her fantasies or things that turn her on. For example, she might casually mention a dream that had to be discussed a lot or a wild fantasy that crossed her mind. These comments are designed to pique your curiosity and encourage you to ask more questions, but they are often presented so subtly that men can miss the invitation to delve into more intimate conversations. Reaction to romantic media. Her reactions to romantic scenes or in movies, TV shows, or books can be revealing. If she expresses strong opinions or shows great interest in these scenes, this could be her indirect way of expressing her own preferences or desires. For example, she may pause when discussing a steamy movie scene or a romantic plot in a book. However, men don't always connect her interest in these scenes with their personal preferences, often missing the chance to understand the woman better. Comments about clothes and appearance. Comments about clothes and appearance can also be loaded with tips. For example, she might comment that your clothes are uncomfortable or too tight, drawing attention to her body. She may also make suggestive comments about how a certain outfit makes her feel. These comments are often meant to provoke thoughts about your body, but men may miss the amorous connotation and focus only on the superficial level of the conversation. Playful accusations. Jokingly accusing yourself of being a flirt or a flirt can be a way to introduce romantic tension into the conversation. These accusations are often made in a playful way, but they carry an undercurrent of attraction and interest. By framing this as play, she creates a safe space to explore this tension without directly stating her intentions. However, men may simply view these accusations as harmless banter, not recognizing their flirtatious implications. Subtle physical descriptions. When a woman describes physical sensations or experiences with a sensual connotation, it can be a subtle love hint. For example, she might talk about the feeling of hot water on her skin during a shower or how she likes the texture of certain fabrics on her body. These descriptions are often meant to evoke a sensory response and can be loaded with innuendo, but they often go unnoticed because they are woven so subtly into the conversation. Shared experiences. Recalling shared experiences that involved physical proximity can be a way to hint at romantic interest. For example, she might mention a time when you were at a crowded concert and highlight how close you were to each other. By focusing on the physical aspect of these shared experiences, she is bringing attention to the physical connection between you, which can be easily ignored by men as just a reminder of a shared experience. Use of sensual language. Using words with sensual connotations in everyday conversation can be a hint of romantic interest. Words can create a conversation with a sensual subtext. When she uses these words, especially in descriptions or personal anecdotes, it can be her way of introducing innuendo into the conversation. However, these linguistic nuances often go unnoticed, as they can seem like general preferences rather than intentional innuendo. Change in tone of voice. A change in your tone of voice, especially when it becomes lower or more seductive, may indicate romantic interest. This shift often occurs in parts of the conversation that are more intimate or personal. Changing tone can create a more intimate atmosphere and is a classic way to use nonverbal cues to convey attraction. However, without careful attention, these changes in tone can be interpreted as a normal part of conversational dynamics. Double meanings and puns. Women often use double entendre phrases with an often romantic secondary meaning as a subtle way of flirting or hinting at their interest. These can be easily missed if not listened to carefully. For example, a seemingly innocent comment about handling things well or being good with your hands may have a suggestive connotation. Men often ignore these cues because they are involved in seemingly normal conversations, requiring a keen ear to detect the underlying message. Imply shared secrets. Sometimes a woman may hint at secrets or hidden aspects of her personality in a conversation. This tactic suggests a depth and intimacy that invites you to explore further. She may allude to having a wild side or experiences that she doesn't normally share with others. The suggestion of mystery and the implication of shared secrets can be attractive, but they are often done so subtly that the true intent can go unnoticed. Laughing at jokes. Her response to amorous humor can be telling. If she laughs or encourages jokes, this may indicate her comfort level with the topic and her interest. This reaction could be a green light for further flirting or conversation, signaling an openness to such conversations. However, because laughter and humor are common in many interactions, this sign can be misinterpreted as just enjoying the joke rather than indicative of romantic interest. Now that you're part of the 1% who can decode these tips, what's next? Learn the signs that she's on your mind or identify the strongest signs of romantic tension. If you've made it this far, comment below with the word 100% to confirm that you received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, subscribe to the channel. Let's continue. Are you ready to unleash the raw power that drives women crazy? Get ready, because I'm about to reveal the indomitable secrets that will make any woman fall at your feet. It's time to harness the primal strength you carry within you, the one that radiates dominance, confidence, and irresistible masculinity. From the imposing aura that demands attention to the magnetic charm that leaves them mesmerized, these traits are your arsenal to win hearts. So buckle up and get ready to harness the unstoppable energy that will have women begging for your presence. Number 1. Confidence. Confidence is one of the most essential qualities a man can have. When you radiate confidence, you show that you're comfortable with who you are and what you can offer, and women are naturally attracted to that. However, it's important to realize that faking it won't work. Confidence is not about wearing a mask or trying to be someone else. Women can tell when someone isn't authentic and won't be interested. True confidence comes from within, built by facing your fears, overcoming obstacles, and taking smart risks. Start with self-knowledge, know your strengths and weaknesses, and accept them. Understand what makes you different and celebrate that. Know your values and beliefs and stick to them. When you have a clear understanding of who you are, you can be confident in your own skin, and women will notice that. This is attractive because it demonstrates that you are self-sufficient, competent, and trustworthy. Women want a man who can face any situation and make them feel safe. There are secret messages that can easily knock down any woman's guard. This knowledge is extremely powerful, so use it sparingly. Number 2. Selfishness. Women want men who prioritize their own ambitions, dreams, and desires. The days of sacrificing your own happiness for others are over. You must be selfish because women are selfish too. They will exhaust you and offer nothing in return. Don't be disinterested, be selfish. Get what you want in life, your needs are more important than theirs. Remember that women want men who are confident but humble. Number 3. Challenge. Defiance is a quality that can make or break your relationship with a woman. When done correctly, the challenge can add excitement to the interaction, making a woman want you more. When done wrong, it can make you appear disinterested and turn a woman off. Chasing a woman basically involves keeping her guessing. Don't be too easy with your feelings and plans, which can create a sense of mystery and doubt, making the woman more involved in the interaction. For example, if a woman is chasing you, don't always be there for her. Instead, act classically like you're being difficult. Show that you have other things in your life and that you don't always put dates first. This can make her feel like she has to work hard to get your attention, which can be attractive. But don't overdo it. If a woman feels like you just don't care, she might give up. The trick is finding a balance between being distant and being involved. Challenging a woman isn't about playing games or tricking her, it's about creating an atmosphere in the interaction that is fun and keeps the woman wanting more. So use this wisely and always be honest in your actions. Number 4. Honesty. Women can't resist an honest man. Therefore, I suggest you be direct and get to the point, without games, beating around the bush or amenities. Some women will appreciate your honesty, some won't, but it all comes down to personal respect. Remember, there is no relationship without respect. When you are sincere and direct, women respect you without fuss or games. You need to give them an ultimatum: you're with me or you're not, choose quickly, because I'm not going to wait. If you don't want to take it a step further, I'm leaving. That's how it works, friend, and let me tell you that when you act like that, women can't resist. They are attracted to a man who doesn't play games, is honest and direct. Most guys are afraid to be honest with women, but who cares what they think? I don't care if they don't like it, if they don't like it, they leave, period. I don't play games, I'm direct, whether you like it or not, you're in or out. Number 5, charisma. Charisma is not about having a charming personality, but about being magnetic and captivating, about attracting people to you and making them want to stay by your side. When it comes to attracting women, charisma is essential. It's important to realize that it doesn't work the same way for everyone. You can't just copy someone and expect it to work. Charisma is unique to each person and is influenced by their own experiences, beliefs, and personality. So don't try to imitate someone, instead be yourself. A key element of charisma is presence, the ability to be completely in the moment, aware of your surroundings and connected with others. When you have a presence, people feel like you are focused on them and genuinely interested in what they have to say. This attracts women. Another element of charisma is the power of positive energy. When you radiate positive energy, you make people feel good, and they naturally want to be around you. Positive energy comes from gratitude, enthusiasm for life and optimism. People are attracted to positivity, and women will find you irresistible. People love to talk about themselves, and when you listen to them, they feel valued. Being a good listener is obviously key to this, so listen, but be careful not to overdo it. Charisma can quickly turn into dishonesty, and women can tell when someone is inauthentic. They have good radar for this kind of thing, so don't try to be someone you're not. Again, don't pretend to be interested in things that don't really interest you. This will eventually fall apart, and women want a man who is authentic and true to himself, not someone who is just trying to impress them. This is a temporary game and it never ends well. Remember, if you do this right, you won't have to try very hard. Absorb the essence of this video, as well as all the others. Each has an important message. You know what to do, my friend. Like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, take care. They can't stop me. If you want to learn scientific tricks to win the woman you want, in the description you can find the link to a free class. Just click and watch this short video and take action. If you've made it this far, comment below with the word 100% to confirm that you received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, subscribe to the channel. Let's continue. Could you give me a full quote for everything necessary, with fees, swarms, everything necessary? I want to pay everything at once.